everybody, welcome to the Daily Sip. My name is Oliver. My mission is to bring you closer to organic Japanese green tea, and today what we're going to dive into is actually into the brewing with a tea bag. So it might be that some of you have seen some of our videos which are going to talk about, or which are talking in general about the effect of teas in tea bags, and that there are several issues at hand with brewing in a tea bag. But today I want to dive into a different kind of a way of looking at the tea bag brewing, is to take actually a tea bag, take the tea out which is originally in, then I will put in some Japanese green tea and then see how the taste evolves when I put it into a glass. And as a comparison against it, I will put the same amount of tea in actually tea pot. Good, so let's go into this. So I'm just gonna cut out here this part which I will not need, and just to show you what I will do is that I will cut this open here. So I'll show you that I will just cut it open. I'll take out the tea. Voila. So once you open up a tea bag, you know what's inside. So these are the small leaves, general leaves, which are tea bag. It's a little bit of a mix, quite a dusty mix of teas and stems, or tea leaves and stems, quite right. So now I have to try to open up a hole, but I still wanna kind of have the control over how it's brewed, that the leaves don't fall out. So I try really to get out all the small leaves from the tea bag. Now, today I brought with me a normal sencha, a sencha from Mr. Henta. It's an Asanoka sencha this time. And what I will do is I will just take a spoon. So, voila. You see it, so just a spoonful of tea, and I will try to fill the tea bag with it. Et voila. Well, glides in pretty smoothly. So you see, this is the tea which is inside the tea bag. So quite a similar amount, a little bit more. I would say these are around 3 grams, while here we are between 1.5 and 2 grams normally, which are used for the tea bags. Good, so we don't do the same process on the other hand with the teapot. Just try really to get the same amount of tea. So just for you to compare, same amount of leaves for the Kyusu. And now let's put these aside. Voila. Okay, then we're gonna dive into the brewing. So first, tea bag. Voila, and we're gonna put in the tea. So this will brew now for 1 minute. I will hold it that it doesn't fall and there are no leaves which fall out. And then I will try to use the same amount of water. Also 1 minute. Needs a little bit more. Et voila. Good. I think we're fine. And then we're gonna just leave it for a minute. This one here. So here we give it a little bit more time. So okay, quite a good opening. Okay, I think we can take out the tea bag, but let's just try to get a little bit of a movement here. Voila. Okay. Squeeze it just a little bit. And voila. Let's put it here. Okay, so then here we also ready. Didn't use the same amount of water, but that's actually no issue. We're just gonna fill it up to the same amount to really have a fair comparison. Good. Okay, so when we look at the tea bag, what we can see is, quite interestingly, I thought it will fill up directly, but what we in general see is that the tea bag is really used. Here we still have some space, so we're gonna definitely use it for a second brewing. And then we have here the tea. So this is the Teabag tea and this is the Kyushu tea. So you can see that Kyushu tea seems to be a little bit more golden, but I don't see a too strong difference. Here, as in my last experiment where I compared a strainer versus a teapot, there I definitely saw this too. Here we have a little bit more of a milk consistency, and here it's a little bit clearer in terms of color. So I expect this one to have a little bit less taste, but let's see. So, Teabag first. Sweet, smooth, so very beautiful in terms of taste notes, but light. So we don't have a very strong tea here. Just a very light, smooth, sweet tea, without that there is a strong, overwhelming, or kind of intense taste with this tea. Now, let's see against the Kyushu. We definitely have more body to it, but it's not too much. So what you can see, or what you see here, is that now we used around 2.5 grams of tea, and 2.5 grams of tea gives already quite a light note. Normally what we say is that you should use around 5 grams, which then gives really a full round spectrum for the tea. And what we already can see here, as you have seen, I even put a little bit more of tea into it than that is normally in a tea bag. But already here, I have a very fine tea, but it is very light, very superficial in terms of taste. There's not this full bodiness, kind of full-bodied experience, which I get when I drink normally green tea. So definitely here what I can see is between these two, definitely the one from the Kyushu, which is a little bit wider, gives more space, definitely shows more taste, but both of them quite light. Here I get just a little bit of a savory note on the side, a little bit of freshness. This one is much rounder, fuller, kind of glides over the tongue, and also on the top. Here I really, with the Teabag, I only have on the side, I really have a taste notes. Meanwhile, with this one here, I really get kind of a beautiful, kind of round, also taste notes on top, a little bit of mango, a little bit for papaya, which here only kind of the savory notes prevail. But in general, both teas are not too strong, so I will do now a second brewing, where I just use less water. Maybe this might help, or it should help. So, half a cup this time, half a cup, same here. Good. Then Teabag back. So this is something you don't know from Teabag using. So Japanese green tea, you should always use it several times. It's a little bit difficult here that I don't lose the leaves, but I only have to do it shortly. No. Okay, here we have to fill it up, that's for sure. Something I missed out on. Okay, then just a little bit of jumping, but you can already see, unfortunately, my small experiment here is not perfect. some leaves drop out, but I squeeze the tea back. So now we can see, also due to the fact that actually the tea leaves are starting to fall out here, so the tea leaves really use all the space. So you can really see that this tea bag is too small for the amount of leaves, and here we only at 2.5 grams, 3 grams. So already now with 2.5, 3 grams, which is only half of the amount I'm using normally for my 3 to 4 cups of tea. Here we can see that it really kind of opens up the tea bag to its maximum. So more I definitely could not stuff into this tea bag. Good. Maybe just to show you from this side here, and then from the side you can really see that it's full. So this tea bag definitely full after second brewing, and after the third brewing it should even open up further. I got some leaves which are at the bottom, which you might see here. Meanwhile this one stays quite clean. But also in terms of color, again, this one more colorful, this one less colorful. Let's see in terms of taste. Still on the top, no flavor. Still on the side, a little bit of savoriness. There's a little bit more sweetness, a little bit more fruitiness, which I'm getting. So kind of a little bit of papaya and mango, slightly less of a savory taste. So the savory taste is kind of dimming down, leaving a little bit more space for fruit notes. And with this one here. Now I seem to get much more of kind of this full flavor. So if you're going down to 2.5 grams, which is only one of these teaspoons, normally I suggest you really to use 2 teaspoons. This is much better. And here I definitely get the much more rounder, fuller taste notes. And this is then optimal with the Kyusu. So you see here how much space actually the leaves need just to really unfold. And this is only the second brewing. I definitely could do a third brewing where there the tea leaves even use more space, and this is what I will do now. So I'll just pour this tea here in, and voila. So I have a nice picture after of good green tea. And then I'll do maybe just a third brewing with the tea bag. So with the teapot, we definitely know it is actually great tea, just using a little bit less water. So let's see. You really can see that the tea bag is like, wow. It's full. So I really have to kind of try to find my way around here. Definitely not made for this experience, this tea bag. But you really can see how full the tea bag has become now. So it really hinders kind of the tea leaves after growth to really unfold properly. Maybe I can open it up now. And voila. And you see the tea leaves are becoming quite big, but still there's a little bit room to unfold. They're not fully unfolded. Let's have a look at the tea leaves. Here, only after the second brewing, you see similar stage, even more unfolded, so a little bit broader. There are some leaves here, this one here. Let's see. You can really see the leaves that are in its entirety in the tea. And let's see how the third brewing is. Still on the top, stays very flat, stays very kind of soft, light. I get much of a watery taste, and really on the side I get a little bit of this kind of savory notes again, but it's kind of a nice balance between the sweet, fruity notes and a little bit the savory balance. But all in all, again, with the strainer, it was already quite impressive. Here I see it with only 2.5 grams. The Teabag never gets to the level that it kind of covers also the top of your tongue, which is super important, especially for kind of the umami taste notes, a little bit this sweet, smooth, very complex note that the Japanese green tea evolves. Here with the Teabag, so this round, smaller Teabag, definitely not the right tool to use with the tea or with Japanese green tea. So definitely try to give it as much space as possible. If you have bigger tea bags, which are also existing in Japanese stores or Chinese or Asian stores, buy these ones. Just try to give the tea as much space as possible. If you have a big wide strainer, use the strainer, and if you have a teapot, then you're already on absolutely the right way to give the tea as much space as possible, because they are especially designed to really leave the teas the space it needs to unfold and give the proper taste to the tea. Good, so here a small session, a little bit improvised. I hope you like this one too, and thanks a lot for watching. And if you ever have a question, leave a comment, write us on all the social media platforms we are on, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye. Ciao.